G'day everyone, what's going on? Today I've discovered a work in progress tag, bunch of questions related to the latest work in progress, which I've got two. I'll talk about one. Because the other one's in development, it's very early on. I'm plotting everything. It's going to be a bit of a series, and I'm plotting the entire series before I start writing the first book, the first chapter, any of it. So that's still a long way off in development. So I'm going to be talking about my steampunk, medieval fantasy kind of thing, whatever it is that I'm working on. But this is a work in progress tag. I'm not sure who started it, but kudos to you. It's just something that I saw floating around. And yeah, let's jump into some questions. So let me read from my phone. And I've got, Number one, what is the title / working title for your work in progress? Well, my fantasy one is called Forging of Vascana. So the way I came about that, Vascana is the country, the world, where everything takes place. It's obviously fantasy, so it's in a completely different world, kind of how the world came to be. It's like this backstory on the world. Number two, where did the idea for the book come from? I have no idea. I'll be perfectly honest, I don't really remember. I've been thinking about this book for quite a while. Fantasy is what I'm drawn to, whether it's reading or writing. A lot of stuff I do is fantasy driven. So growing up, I was very much into both Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, and I've gone more the Lord of the Rings route. I wouldn't say a rip-off, because it's not about a ring and throwing it into the depths of hell or anything. Storyline, it's not really Lord of the Rings, but setting-wise, it's a little bit. So yeah, it's just an idea that popped into my head, and I've just been fleshing it out ever since. Number three, what genre does your book fall under? Fantasy and steampunk. 4, which actors would you choose for the movie adaptation of your book? That's a bloody good question. What actors? I feel obligated to say my cousin for a role. A, he's a good actor, and B, he's my cousin. So I kind of got to put him in there, Ben Doolan. I don't know a lot of younger actors because they're Tom Holland? Maybe Tom Holland. Number 5, what is a one-sentence synopsis of your book? One sentence. How do you summarize a series in a single sentence? When 4 young boys return from their trials, they unknowingly release a nightmare upon their world. Sure. I don't know if that sounds any good, but we'll go with that, shall we? 6, will your book be self-published or traditionally published? I hope traditionally. That's kind of the route that I'd prefer to go down with all of my writing. I feel like it'd reach a wider audience, and that's the sole purpose of writing, is to reach a wide audience, to get as many people reading it as possible. So I think I'd prefer to go down the traditionally published route. 7, how long did it take to write the first draft? It's currently taken a few months. I'm halfway through book 1. So I haven't even finished yet. So come back to me on that one. Number 8, who or what inspired you to write this book? If you saw my AuthorTube newbie tag video, I'll link it above. That I discuss some of the authors that inspired me to write, and they're the authors that inspired me to write this particular book, especially Tolkien, obviously, with his world building and the world building that I'm putting into this particular novel. 9, what other things in your book might pique the reader's interest? So there's a lot of gratuitous violence, and I like violent things. is good. There's a bit of love in there for the girls, you know. We can get into the softer side of things, and there's a bit of romance. Not a lot, but there's a little bit of romance. There is a epic as all buggery bloody journey, because we explored like the entire country. And it is big. Like, it's quite big. There's a lot of action. It's a real coming of age kind of a story. To see the main character, it literally starts off with him being born in chapter 1, and then goes through into him becoming a man. So, you know, big arc. Yeah, very big character arc. Watching him go from an infant into being a teenager and relying heavily on other people to help him, and then having to basically do everything on his own, and the decisions that he makes is going to be very interesting to see how he deals with certain things. So he'll do one thing, and then he has to deal with the repercussions of it, and he learns and he grows, and all of that stuff that you would expect in any story. Yeah. So there you go. That's my work in progress. My first work in progress. I'm currently getting part of it critiqued, which once I get that back from Danny, you're a good man, Danny. Thank you. Once he gets back to me on the part that he's looking over, I'll then go back and I'll rewrite it, and I'll take everything that he says further through into the rest of the story. So yeah, there's my half-assed attempt at my work in progress tag question thing. So if you made it this far, well done, congratulations, thank you. Give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe and leave a comment. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.